All right, we'll call the public safety meeting for the city of Hudson to order on Thursday, May 5th. We'll do a roll call, please.
Alderperson Alms. Absent.
Absent at this time, yeah.
Alderperson Hall.
Here.
Alderperson Morset.
Here. Number 3, approval of the April 14th regular meeting minutes. I was back then.
Move to approve.
Second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, motion carries. Number 4, new business, Hudson Lions Hometown Music Fest. And I know Mike Burnley's here and the other, I'm sorry, Jerry Reese. Whoever wants to speak, you get to come to the podium. State your name and address for the record, please.
I am Mike Burnley, 402 Durango Drive, Roberts, Wisconsin.
So, what have you got going? You got the Hometown Music Fest, which was a success last year. Anything different going on this year?
The only thing different is we added a couple new vendors and then some other new bands. We do have, each year we do an outreach program for each community that's out there. And this year we're doing, which they did help last year, it's BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse. So we'll be raising money for them this year. And I do have some flyers here I can leave as well for you guys. So,
Chief, did you have any issues last year besides the 21 gun salute?
No issues.
Everything was in order as far as the app?
Yep.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second, any further discussion? Seeing none from the grand audience. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We'll recommend approval to council on next week, Monday, is it?
16th.
The 16th, May 16th.
do somebody need to be there for that?
You should, just in case somebody's got questions.
Okay,
And there are new folks that are on the council, so they may have some questions.
okay.
That's at 7 o'clock,
7 o'clock here at the
May
chamber?
16th here, yeah,
Okay. All right.
just
I'll
in
leave-
case.
I'll leave these for you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right, and the next item, number 5, pedestrian caution sign on River Ridge Road. This had been brought to me by a constituent. Again, it's a double time, and I know Mrs. Bruck is here, sorry. And so if you wanted to say a few things for sure, and state your name and address for the record, and just a little backstory, we did put one sign up there already, but it might not be doing enough for the folks in particular, so.
My name is Liz Brooke. I live at 1901 Twilight Lane, and I'm in Mr. Morissette's district. And actually, I'll make it short. When we bought 6 years ago in the villas of River Ridge, our realtor already told us about the River Ridge Road and its challenges. And it is actually more than a road. It's a place where kids learn to ride their bike, roller skate, cyclists. It's very heavily traveled. And it also is traveled by cars. And as the development across the street from us has expanded, we have more and more traffic. And I can attest from personal experience that some drivers really do not follow the speed limits. Surprise, surprise. And I have ended up running to the ditch so I would not be hit. And we have asked in the past, what we have now is we have a sign, but it really doesn't quite accomplish what we were hoping. It's a sign about walking against traffic. What we really would appreciate and would seem more useful would be a caution sign. One of those yellow deals that we have all around, caution pedestrians and cyclists. And that would really be a helpful thing. If you ever spend much time walking in that area, I've actually seen vehicles pull up and people have come intentionally to walk on that lovely path. And so I would hope that we could look out for the citizens of our community and change a sign to caution and for pedestrians and cyclists.
Is the sign that we have up there not even, working, but is it in the wrong spot? Is there need to be more signs, or how many are you probably requesting?
Well, the sign you have is not exactly what we had anticipated, and you've probably gathered that from some ongoing communication. So we would just appreciate very much one yellow caution sign. If you want to be really generous, we'd go for speed bumps too, but I'm not sure that's part of your deal. But anyway, one sign would help a lot, and frankly, the walking with traffic and against traffic is not followed, and it wasn't really what we were hoping for initially.
That was requested.
I don't have that in my information.
No,
It
was
was,
it-
one of the wordings was about traffic, but it was really asking for a caution sign.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if there was some miscommunication on our part.
What I'm gonna say is that it was requested by somebody besides you and your husband.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
So-
clarifying.
Yep. How many, I mean, what end do you think it would need to be on?
That is a really, honestly, a challenge. In truth, we probably could use it at both ends to be most effective.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Do you want to comment, Chief, on what the city engineer had said?
Well, I can read what he sent me.
Okay. Did you get a copy of that?
Yeah.
So, Dean Chamberlain basically said, the traffic engineer, said, he would suggest that adding additional signs would probably neither help nor hurt pedestrian safety on the street, and this would probably just be a waste of money. As we already know, a lot of drivers, particularly the ones not paying attention to pedestrians, will not likely read new signs. If the committee feels the signs are needed, he does not oppose their installation.
So,
I think we should, well, how much do the signs cost? Do you have any idea?
I do not.
That's a good question for Public Works.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with putting signs up. Usually what Dean has talked about is, it's the road design that makes the difference in people's speeds and things like that. And just from my own experience on Chestnut, we put up 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs. It did nothing. And so now we do have speed humps, temporary speed humps in there, and that seems to be helping. So I think that it would be a good idea to ask Dean to go up there and make recommendations, and bring it back to the public safety next month.
Okay.
Would that be acceptable? That would be really helpful, nothing like a field trip, but I think that would be very helpful. And you never know about the time of the day, but the traffic obviously has picked up.
That street was never meant, it's not a certified size city street.
Right.
It was never meant for what it's turned into. So anything we can do to move it, even if I don't necessarily agree with the speed bumps, it might be a good place for those.
But that's up to Dean to make recommendations.
Right.
The other thing that we could do is the black box available to?
That is now in the full control of Dean.
Oh, okay, so
Really?
then we can ask Dean to
For
do
speed?
a black box study
Well,
on
it's
that.
more for traffic counts.
Is the one that goes on the ground or the pole?
No, so the little black Pelican box that attaches
Yeah.
to the pole,
Yep, okay.
that discreetly counts, traffic.
So we
Do we have
should,
more than one now, or do we just have the
I
one?
have one that gives me the same data with this is your speed.
Oh.
It flashes at you as you go by.
Okay,
So it kind of serves dual purpose. So I gave the black box to Dean since he's the one that pretty much needs that
okay,
anyway, and
all right.
this option as it's more conducive to
so
what
Liz, what Joyce is crafting in her motion here,
I can make the motion. All right, so I'll make the motion that we ask Dean to do to look at the road and make recommendations, and to use the black box to measure the speeds up there, and then bring back a recommendation to the next meeting.
would you put two of these signs up? Or don't you wanna?
We can do that. Yeah, let's do that, and then, yes, with the sign.
One on each end or?
One at each end, yeah, that's fine.
And then we can revisit the speed
And
bump.
then, yeah, so the first, yeah, okay, so I'll change my motion then too.
Okay.
Put the two signs up, ask Dean to make some recommendations and to do a speed study with the black box, and then bring back recommendations to the Public Safety Committee. Because we can always use those signs somewhere else if they're not
Right, and we
effective there.
should probably just remove the other one that's up there then.
Okay,
Because that's somewhat in the middle, isn't it, of River Ridge?
It's part,
Towards-
I'm sorry, I lost a hearing aid during the mask experience, and so I'm waiting for a new hearing aid, so with apologies, I'm not hearing you so well. Would you please restate that?
So that it is, the sign we have now is somewhat in the middle, but towards the south, right?
Right.
So I think we move that out and
Okay.
put these two on the north and south.
okay, I'll add remove those, the current sign to my motion.
Thank you so
Repla-
very much.
When it's replaced by the other signs. Got that all, Melanie?
Clear as mud.
Do I have a second?
I will second. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We should have that, it will probably go to council May 16th, but the speed bumps will take another month. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. All right,
Okay, well, we can get that started and get something going on there.
that was my point, is let's get something, I mean, they've been patient.
We just have too many spots in town where everybody's speeding.
You know, kids. So, all department updates. Chief, you want a police department update?
I ordered the license plate reader cameras and the traffic cameras early this week, so that project is.
Clarify what the license plate reader's for. Not to
basically-
catch speeders on.
Right, the license plate readers are essentially to create a virtual gate around the city to capture vehicles as they enter the city limits. We get real-time alerts for silver alerts, amber alerts, felony vehicles, stolen vehicles, things like that. So we know when those folks are in our city, we can try to find them. It also allows us to go back for the period of about 90 days if something should happen to basically develop leads and try to find the right answers.
Okay.
And then the traffic cameras that are going up at various intersections throughout the city. I believe there's 16 of them going up in the city, and those are just basically to monitor traffic, right? They kind of serve dual purpose, whereas especially in the downtown area, you know, they'll serve as kind of a closed circuit video system so that we can monitor events and it's recorded so we can go back again for the period of 90 days. If something happens, go back and pull video so that we can, it'll help us put the puzzle pieces back together should something happen, but otherwise to monitor traffic patterns and large-scale events and things like that.
How's your force?
Force is good. We are in the process of hiring our last two to make us full staff. So there's a background process in place and going through evaluations right now with one of them, so.
Can you give some updates? I've got a lot of people asking me about what's going on with all the catalytic converters, especially on the south end of town, being stolen.
That's a problem nationwide. It's just a period that we're going through right now. One of those, the cameras are going to help with that kind of enforcement and deterrence as well.
Will it be out on the end of Carmichael on the south end?
Well, it'll be on Carmichael. So, generally speaking, the folks that are committing these crimes have a certain type of vehicle, right? A tool truck, a tool van, something like that they're driving around in. The people that see it happen generally describe that as the vehicle that was left, right? So with this new system, this camera program, you know, hopefully we'll be able to, you know, find suspects that way and hopefully put an end to it.
So those cameras will be on every exit and entrance onto the highway, including the slip ramps. So if someone over on Higgin or back there in Tallgrass, catalytic converters that go over the bridge and try to shoot off on the slip ramp out, we would have a camera on it?
Yes,
Excellent. And that's every entrance into
every
and out
entrance
of
into the
Hudson.
city and the slip ramp, which is essentially an exit out of the city.
Very good. Melanie, any police department updates?
No, I think he covered everything.
Any items now that we're back on the committee that we need to add?
Okay, well, in last month's meeting minutes, we've got other items for future agendas. We've got speed humps, we've got 9th Street speed calming, and data on Chestnut Drive.
Okay, we'll put those on the next agenda.
Yeah, see how those cones are working on 9th Street.
I'm hearing some fussing, are you?
Yes. Well, they didn't know what the cones were for, and there wasn't any information. I wasn't expecting that they just put out cones. I was expecting that,
They didn't do a neighborhood like lit drop or anything?
now that I know of. So that's something we can talk to Dean about next time.
Good.
But
People are not happy with the kind of temporary roundabout situation down
well,
there.
they weren't aware of the purpose. They thought that because it was cones, they thought that the city was going to be doing some work there. And of course, they're all waiting for this, the street to be redone because it is in bad shape. So
Yeah.
they were expecting that there was going to be some work done and wondering what it was. And so then I explained, no, that, and I hadn't seen it yet. I didn't know that it was just a bunch of cones. I was expecting kind of little some fencing or something like that that would be pounded into the pavement or drilled into the pavement, and it's just cones. So we'll see what happens and whether it does seem to slow people down, which is the
Was the intent.
intent. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Okay, move to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.